The Gaunga Dyns, how much time did you spend in that band? That was kind of like your first big break, would you say?
Well, it's really interesting. It happened really fast. I had finally talked my parents into buying me a guitar, and then the summer after that happened, I guess I was 14, my grandmother bought me an electric guitar.
Mm-hmm.
And
the first one was
I could
acoustic?
play, and people knew that I could play at the junior high school that I was at. I mean, it just was not a big deal, but some people knew that I played guitar.
Oh, okay.
So they're going to have a school talent show.
Okay.
And so myself and Mike King and Ricky Hall and Brian Collins and Johnny Baker made up a band for that performance called the Gonks, Gonks.
Gotcha.
And we played in our junior high school auditorium about 4 or 5 songs that were British Invasion kind of songs.
Yeah, it was hot.
And the girls went crazy. I mean, they were all up and dancing in the eye. I mean, it was
nice.
It went crazy, and,
yeah.
you know, and that was it. I mean, we all, after that was over, I mean, that was
sold.
I told Brian at that time, I said, I'm going to do this for the rest of my life.
Sure.
He said, I remember you telling me that.
Yeah.
I talked to him about it last week.
That's fantastic. And what was the span of time with the Gonks or the Gaunga Dyns?
Well, the Gonks are just one performance.
Okay.
And then from that, there was a band called the Twilights, and there was a band that formed called the Gaunga Dyns simultaneously. I wasn't in either one of them.
Uh-huh.
They formed, and then what happened was the Twilights we didn't like our bass player that much, and we liked the bass player in the Gaunga Dyns, and the Gaunga Dyns were going to break up because the two guitar players and singers were going off to college, and that was going to be the end of that band.
Gotcha.
But they were good, and so we broke those two bands up and formed one band, and what we called it the Gaunga Dyns, not the Twilights.
Yeah.
And we had Neil Lundgren and Bo Bremer were singing, and they could sing like the Everly Brothers. I mean, they could really sing. They were both super talented.
Yeah.
And that was the Gaunga Dyns for a while, and it got real popular really quick. But then Neil he was so good that he went off and he left the band and formed his own things within the first 6 or 7 months.
Mm.
And then we just had Bo as a singer, and then that's the band that recorded the records here in New Orleans at Cosmo's, and we were on the national charts. I think we were number 99 for a week.
You were on it, man. You were on it, though. What, coming into that, the material that was already in existence was a mishmash of both bands? Were they kind of similar in their scope?
We did. Well, we catered to our singers because they were so good.
Yeah.
And Bo could sing anything, so we did a lot of Midnight Hour, Wilson Pickett, those kind of things, and
Sure.
we also did a lot of British Invasion stuff. So we did soul music, soul, rock and soul, and then we did British Invasion stuff. And then we wrote music too, so we had original material too.
There was no shortage. How many guys was in
Well,
the
it was
Gaunga Dyns?
5, I guess. Well, 6. Let's see. Yeah, 6.
6 guys. And everybody's throwing in material and came with some?
No, just Mike and I did all the writing.
Oh, okay. And what caused that to come to a close? How long are we talking?
Well, a couple of years.
Yeah.
The bass players had to go out. His father got transferred to Connecticut. His father was in the oil business.
Uh-huh.
I mean, we were all in high school.
Yeah.
And so he had to leave. And we didn't know what we were going to do because he was just so good.
Oh, okay.
And so the band decided they wanted me to play the bass.
Had you ever before this?
Uh-uh.
Oh, wow.
I had never played bass before that. And I had to sing a lot. And playing bass and singing is a special talent.
Yeah.
I think I can play the guitar and sing, but it took me a while to learn how to do that.
Yeah.
But I couldn't do it, but they said, well, you have to do it. And so we got this job, and I went to play bass, and they called a song that we hadn't
Rehearsed.
really figured it out.
Yeah.
And I walked off stage,
Oh man.
and they kicked me out the next day.
Oh, okay.
And they got the lead singer to play bass and sing,
I mean,
And he
why
could
did
do
they do
it.
that in the first place?
and he could do it.
Yeah. But by this time, you were more than sold on what you wanted to do with the rest of your life, because it wasn't.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't just
I
a
joined
talent
another
show.
band
It
here.
was doing it for real.
Yeah,
for
I
a
joined
couple
another
years.
band here, and then we moved to Oakdale when I was a senior. That summer, and I played guitar there in the orchestra, and I played the string bass in the orchestra too.
Nice.
It's not ironic that I played bass in the orchestra there.
Well, I mean, it was bound to happen. It sounds like not by your own design, but a Cosmos, I guess.
Woo! Super!